Hello everyone, welcome back to Mama Gibson's Reading Corner. Thank you for joining me today. I am going to continue reading the books that I got from the library during my visit the other day. I hadn't been to the library in quite a while. I do most of my library browsing on the Libby app on my phone. So it was nice to go in and just be in all the books. And to see everything and look at the new things that are coming and to check out the children's section, which I enjoyed. I found an entire section of Amelia Bedelia books, so I thought I would get those and read them. I'm going to be posting those over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to space them out a little bit, and I'm also going to be continuing Charlotte's Web. I think we'll be starting on chapter 9, maybe a little later today. So this book is called Thank You, Amelia Bedelia. It is written by Peggy Parish. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Mrs. Rogers was all in a dither. Great Aunt Myra is coming today. Now that is nice, said Amelia Bedelia. I do love company. We've been trying for years to get her to visit, said Mrs. Rogers. But Great Aunt Myra says the only place she feels at home is at home. So everything must be exactly right. We do want her to be happy here. Now don't you worry your head, said Amelia Bedelia. I'll fix everything. What should I do first? Well, the guest room must be made ready. Strip the sheets off the bed, remake it with the new rosebud sheets, said Mrs. Rogers. Thank goodness you're here. Amelia Bedelia went to the guest room. These folks do have odd ways. Imagine stripping sheets after you use them. Amelia Bedelia shook her head, but she stripped those sheets. Amelia Bedelia had just finished when the doorbell rang. That must be the laundryman with Mr. Rogers' shirts, called Mrs. Rogers. Please check them and make sure they are all there. Amelia Bedelia hurried to the door and took the package. Amelia Bedelia opened the package. She unfolded each shirt, 2 sleeves, 1 collar, 1 pocket, and 6 buttons. Yes, they're all here. There's not a thing missing, said Amelia Bedelia. Now to check them. It would be a sight easier to buy them already checked, said Amelia Bedelia, but she quickly checked each shirt. Oh my goodness. Mrs. Rogers came downstairs in a rush. Amelia Bedelia, put my bright pink dress. My bright pink dress has spots in it. Please remove them with the spot remover. Leave the dress out. I will wear it tonight. Now I must go to the market. Amelia Bedelia looked at the bright pink dress. I don't see any spots. This dress just needs washing. When another dress caught Amelia Bedelia's eyes. She must have meant her light pink dress. Now that one sure is spotted. Amelia Bedelia held the dress up. It looks mighty nice with the spots on it, but I guess she's tired of it that way. Amelia put spot remover on each spot. Then she waited. Nothing happened. Didn't think that stuff would work, said Amelia Bedelia. She got the scissors, and Amelia Bedelia removed every spot from that dress. Amelia Bedelia, called Mrs. Rogers, please take these groceries. Amelia Bedelia ran to take the bag. Here are some roses, too. Do scatter them around the living room. I must get my hair done now. While I'm gone, wash all the vegetables and string the beans. If you have time, make a jelly roll. Great Aunt Myra does love jelly roll, said Mrs. Rogers. Amelia Bedelia stopped in the living room. Seems like roses would look nicer sitting proper-like in vases, but if she wants them scattered, scattered they will be. Amelia Bedelia went on to the kitchen with the groceries. She washed all of the vegetables. Then she found a ball of string, and Amelia Bedelia strung all those beans. Oh, no. Jelly roll, exclaimed Amelia Bedelia. I've never heard tell of jelly rolling. But Amelia Bedelia got a jar of jelly, and she tried again and again, but she could not get that jelly to roll. Amelia Bedelia washed her hands, got out a mixing bowl. Amelia Bedelia began to mix a little of this and a pinch of that. Great Aunt Myra or no Great Aunt Myra, there's not going to be any jelly rolling in this house tonight, said Amelia Bedelia. Mr. and Mrs. Rogers arrived home at the same time. Mrs. Rogers called, Amelia Bedelia, please separate 3 eggs and pare the other vegetables you washed. I'll do the cooking. Then she and Mr. Rogers hurried upstairs to dress. Amelia Bedelia took out 3 eggs. I wonder why they need to be separated. They've been together all day long and nothing happened. But Amelia Bedelia separated those eggs. Pare the vegetables, Amelia Bedelia laughed. Here, you two go together, and you two, now be careful or I'll be separating you too. Amelia Bedelia went up to Mrs. Rogers' room. What should I do with these stripped sheets? She asked. Stripped sheets, exclaimed Mrs. Rogers, but she got no further. Mr. Rogers roared, What in thunderation happened to my shirts? Oh, you don't like big checks? I didn't have time to do little ones, but next time I will, I promise, said Amelia Bedelia. My dress, exclaimed Mrs. Rogers. It's full of holes. Yes, ma'am, I removed every single spot, said Amelia Bedelia. Before Mrs. Rogers could say any more, the doorbell rang. Great Aunt Myra, said Mr. and Mrs. Rogers, and they rushed to the front door. Good evening, grandniece. Good evening, grandnephew. My, that trip made me hungry, said Great Aunt Myra. I'll cook dinner right now, said Mrs. Rogers. Everyone went to the kitchen. Amelia Bedelia, did you string the beans? Asked Mrs. Rogers. Yes. See, they do give such a homey look, said Amelia Bedelia. Where are the eggs I asked you to separate? Said Mrs. Rogers. Here's one. One's behind the clock, and the other one is over there. Did I separate them far enough apart? Asked Amelia Bedelia. Mrs. Rogers said nothing. So Amelia Bedelia went on, and they pared the vegetables. And I pared the vegetables. They went really well together, and there weren't any left over. Mrs. Rogers slapped her hand on the table. It hit a right sticky blob. Ugh! What is that? She shouted. Jelly. I tried to make it roll, but it just plip-plopped all over the place, said Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia, exclaimed Mrs. Rogers. How do you get things so mixed up? Things mixed up? Oh, I plumb forgot, said Amelia Bedelia, and she hurried to the stove. Amelia Bedelia opened the oven door. Great Aunt Myra sat straight up and sniffed. Hot apple pie, I do declare. Now that's the kind of mixed-up thing I like. Great Aunt Myra announced, Grandniece, grandnephew, I like it here. Oh, Great Aunt Myra, we're so glad, said Mr. and Mrs. Rogers. They both began to talk at once, but Great Aunt Myra wasn't much for words. She had her eyes on the last piece of that apple pie. Great Aunt Myra put the last piece of pie on her plate. Then she said, Grandniece, grandnephew, I will visit you often. That Amelia Bedelia really knows how to make a body feel at home. Thank you, Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia smiled. She and Great Aunt Myra would get along. Well, it looks like Amelia Bedelia's baking skills saved her once again. First, she made a lemon meringue pie, and this time she made a hot apple pie. So, which is your favorite? I think if I had to choose between the two, it would be lemon meringue every time. Well, I'm so glad that you joined me today for Thank You, Amelia Bedelia. And I'll see you next time as we continue to work our way through the Amelia Bedelia books. Have a great day.